Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob. We're having our Trump coffee today, and guess what's here? This end up. I bet you can't guess what that is. Anybody who watches my video probably knows what this is. This is a gun I've been waiting for since 2017. So we're going to try to get this thing unboxed and see what we got. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a video today on shooting it. I plan to do a shooting video on chronograph and shooting some slugs that he sent with it. He wants me to test out, so we're going to do that, but I don't know if that's going to be today. We might just have time to do the unboxing, so we're going to try to mount a I don't want to, but I've only got a O-Hunt that's got some problems with the parallax, so we'll see. I'll put my coffee down and we'll get started. Alright guys, so we'll see if we can get this tape off of here. Well, that's a strong looking tape there. That looks like black tape. Man, that's some tough stuff there. I don't think he wanted me in this thing. Wow, that's some serious tape there. Chad, you're going to have to send me some of that. I'm just kidding, I don't need any. Hammer, says it right there. He definitely did not want this thing to get opened. Finally, we have an open box. Alright, so let me turn this upside down and get it out. Alright. We have a hammer. Now let's open this bad boy up and see what we got. Alright, he sent me a big old load of ammo. That thing's pretty heavy. Yeah, can't put it there. Alright, we got 2 magazines, and those are pretty hefty magazines. Alright, we got 2 of those. Got the, and he even sent the owner's manual. I didn't send him one, so I probably should have. I'll have to look that up, see if I can find it for him, send it to him. But I'm pretty sure I have it all. Alright. And there we got it. So we have the hammer now. And I do believe this is probably going to be my go-to hunting gun for deer hunting. And it was on fire. Good thing I didn't pull the trigger, huh? Of course, it won't fire with the magazine out of it, I don't think. But why take a chance on it, right? He added these, I believe, because I don't think it comes with the M-lock rails originally. So he must have added these 3 pick rails to it. And we're going to go ahead and see about mounting a scope to it. So stay tuned. Well, hello guys. I didn't see y'all standing there. What the hell? Scared me like that. Anyway, I was going to do a review on this gun today, shooting, well, not a review, but a shooting video to show what the hammer was putting out and test a few slugs and stuff like that. But I have found that I have some problems to work out on this gun. Most of it's preference. I have taken the shroud off of it, which is just as simple as unscrew it. That's it. So this shroud goes in there, and it made that gun way too long. It wouldn't fit in this case. Now I sold my 30 plus or 30 Pro, and this was the case that was meant for that gun. And I got a matching one for the M50 over here. So I had to pull out some more foam to fit this gun, and I'm just trying to get it set up for when I get ready to go hunting, so I can get a feel that I'm gonna have everything there. Yeah, I'm a little early, but oh well. So I took the shroud off of it and found that now it fits. So I don't like them shrouds anyway. First thing that needs to go is them shrouds. So I've got one of 2 choices. I can take a machine, and I need to glue that thing down. That's getting aggravating. That's the 2nd time that's happened. Now you can't get it back down in there. Yeah, I'm going to have to glue it. But I can take this here completely off and put one of my barrel bands rail systems on it, build one for this, and this thing's got an awful lot of dust inside of it. I have to brush that out. But anyway, the shroud goes in here, but I can take this off and put the rail system on it, which I'm not really keen on. I kind of like this forward grip. It's not a bad looking one, but now that without the shroud, this here will move. So what I can do is, instead of taking this off, I can machine or 3D print a mimic, just a spacer that has this same shape, maybe, I don't know, 1/2 inch away from that or 1/4 inch away from the edge of this, and have it taper the same on both ends. Slide that on there and leave it there. Or I mean, I can go and put a tube here all the way up to here and cut it off right there. But I don't want that shroud. I don't like shrouds that they throw accuracy off on every gun I've ever used a shroud on. That's why my Challenger don't have a shroud. That's why my 357 didn't have a shroud. But I do like this forward grip. I'm not too keen on the buttstock. I didn't realize that the buttstock was actually had the bolt built into it. And I think they could have done something a little different here. That's a screw that keeps you from being able to pull your bolt back. So see, you can't pull it back now, but you take this and screw it out so far, and then you can thread it out or pull this back. But I'm going to eliminate it. The only reason it's there right now is because I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to have to put that in a little baggie and put it in this case so it stays with this gun. Because I'm just going to take mine out and leave it. Alright, and then the next thing that I have to address, and I'm trying to get a hold of Umarex to find out if there is a fix for it, but the first problem I had was sorry, got sidetracked. The first problem is this. That ain't supposed to happen. That is not supposed to happen. And it doesn't on all of them. That means it's not sealing very good. That thing shouldn't be that big around. So either this is wore out. I don't see how it can be wore out. The gun's only 3 months old. So unless somebody sat there and shot 24/7 for 365 days a year, I don't see how they get wore out like that. But they do have an updated mag, which I figured that 3 months ago that they would have had the upgraded mags by then. So it didn't come with the upgraded mags. So this is what I got to deal with. And the only way you can fix that is to bore that out, press another piece of metal in there, and rebore it to the right size. But if you're going to shoot 510s, which is what the gun's supposed to shoot and is called to shoot, it's actually a 511. So now I got to wait for 511s to have my magazines work correctly. But that ain't the only issue I had with the magazines. The other issue I had, and I probably did some cussing on camera earlier today, but I was cussing this thing. It's got these two things right here on the top that pushes against them springs that's encased in this plastic piece. And yes, this piece is plastic. Yep, plastic. Why they gotta make gun parts out of plastic? So I have a hard time getting this thing to go in. I mean the devil of a time getting it to go in. Well, it would help if I pulled the bolt back. Duh. But that wasn't why it's hard to get in. Alright, so see, you got to fumble with it to get it lined up just perfect. There we go. Now it'll go. Alright. But then, let's say you're sitting there and there's a deer standing there that you just missed. And you have to change the magazine. and let's just pretend like we're doing it. And remember, this deer's still watching us while we're doing all this bullshit. And now you got to fumble with it and look at the deer. Oh my God, man. Son of a bitch, you bastard. Get the hell in there. I want to kill him. He's a big old 40-point buck. Yeah. Now I finally got it in there. I've just scared that deer away. So, I got to find out why that's so hard to get lined up. It shouldn't be that hard to line up. It should be just as simple as put it up there and slide it right in. And that time I did do it. So, but I want to address that before I actually do a shooting review on this. And then I'm going to probably just make a thread protector for this because I have no intentions of using a suppressor. Because when I'm hunting, I want all the hunters to hear that I killed a deer. So I want to sound like the real big boys, you know. So, but we'll just take and put a piece of Delron or something out. Delrin. I can cut a piece of Delrin to fit this. Bore it out the same size as the barrel. And then file it to fit. And I think that'll look okay. I may have to take my sunshade off and drill me a small hole here and just put me a little screw in there just to keep that thing from sliding back and forth. But it'd basically be a barrel band on the outside of the barrel and on this at the same time. So that's what we're going to do. And that barrel needs to be blued or oiled or something. So we're going to probably take this apart tonight and oil that barrel up a little bit. Get it nice and bluish black color. But other than that, man, this thing is a beast. I'm proud to have one. Every gun has its problems. You just have to decide if you want to take care of them problems or if you want to pass it on to somebody else. But I think it looks better being a shorter rifle like that. And it takes a little bit of weight off of it. Because that's got a little weight to it. So I just made it lighter. And if I took this off, it'd be lighter yet. But then I wouldn't have no way to hold my bipod. Or my sling stud, which is this bad boy I made out of a scope mount. Cut the top of the scope off of it and kept the bottom part. Drilled 2 holes in the bottom of it. Drilled it to my piece. It's got my stud, sling stud on it. So now I can put my sling on there, and I put a sling stud here on the back. So we got sling studs for it, and you get 2 good shots, period. And you're back to filling it up. So this thing's getting heavy now, so I'm going to set it down a little bit. So I'd like to have the new mags that came, to come out to update that. That's got the Delrin bushing in it. This one here, the only way you can fix it's like I said, press a piece of round stock in there with Loctite and then start over and ream the hole the right size. But since the gun is a 510 caliber gun, then this should be a 510 caliber, enough for it to allow the slug to slide in with a push. You can't push it or it won't fall out. It's got to be a pretty nice fit. So that's the problems I'm coming up with, and another $80 and I can fix that problem. I just ain't got $80. So I think we're going to use this for this year. I'm still going to take the M50 with me, leave it at the house, and if something happens that this one ain't working out, then I'll have a backup for after lunch. So, but I better damn well hit the first time because you only got 2 shots. Man, this thing's a hog, air hog. I was going back and forth to the frickin' pump all day today. So, I'm not doing a review today, so I just kind of wanted to show some of the things that I found today and what needs to be addressed. Every gun has an addressing issue. So we'll probably take a piece of PVC pipe that will fit this, and hopefully we can find one that fits over top of the barrel that's the same size, maybe 3/4 inch PVC might fit down through there, I don't know, and take it all the way to the end. But as far as it going out past the barrel, I don't want that going past the barrel. It's too damn long, and I've never seen one accurate with the shroud on it. I wanted to just show what I was doing to change this. In the last video, I showed you that I had taken the shroud off, and I wanted to fix this part right here in order to keep it all straight, because this actually helps to keep all this straight so that this doesn't shift back and forth. So we're going to change that. We're going to keep a shroud, but we're going to put a shorter one on it. So what I did, I went and found this off of my 30 cal Challenger, and it still had the cap, the screws on the end of it, and I just drilled it out to the same size as the barrel. So I'm going to show you what we did. So the first thing I did was just unscrewed the original shroud, and believe it or not, that's just carbon fiber, and it's got a push-in cap that threads on here, and it's about that long. In fact, I'll show you what it looks like. You gotta have something special like a piece of pipe. Now, who else has pipe hanging around waiting for them to use it? But that's the end piece. And I thought about turning that into a kind of a suppressor, because I don't have anything to make them threads. So I'm going to have to get a 18mm by 1.50 thread in order to even make a nut for this, because that would actually work like a brake, wouldn't it? But it's clocked wrong. So this part would have to be up on the top, and this one would have to be on the bottom, so that when you shoot, it keeps it, the air hits this and knocks it back down. So that's the idea anyway. So I took the shroud off of the Challenger 30 cal and drilled that out. So now I drilled a hole right here in the top of it to allow for a screw to go in it, and I shortened it. It's a little 1032 screw, cap screw, and I went ahead and drilled all the way through both this housing and the tube just to mark it, and then I pulled the tube off to finish it off because I didn't want to hit my barrel. So this here just screws on. So we'll tighten that up. Then we'll slide this on there after I get this off. I was checking to see if it would or go over top of that, but it won't. It won't even go over top of this side. Oh, it probably would if I hammered it in. But I wanted the barrel to be shorter, so this is why I'm doing this. And this fits perfect. It's exactly the same size as the shroud that was on it. Alright. Then this goes back inside of it here, once you line it up. And then we'll line that hole up. Well, for some reason, I'm not seeing the hole now. So then we'll put our stainless steel set screw in it. What is going on here? Let me get a flashlight. I can't see down in there. Really didn't want this big a flashlight. Alright, so we got it lined up. And that screw is not hitting the barrel. So now I can put a thread protector on the end of that, and I thought about destroying this thing. Where'd it go? I could take and cut that off right there, and that would be my thread protector right there, but what if I ever want to use this again? I really don't want to destroy it. So I guess it's either that or I'm going to have to go buy a 18 millimeter by 1.50 threader. So I need to do that anyway eventually, because I mean I'm sure I'll be making things for it in the future. So damn it, got something in my shoe. Stuck to my sock. Well, what do you guys think? You think that looks better than that old long ass barrel? That was about that long. Too long for me and too fat. Now I could have probably brought this back, and I could still do that, because all I would have to do would be take this screw out, slide that on down further, because it will go further, and just drill another hole and put another set, or put the screw in that hole and bring it back. You can make that adjustable whatever, how long you wanted it. But once I get a thread protector on it, I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to be able to get the two updated magazines for it that's got the Delrin in it, but I'll just have to live with it the way it is, and hope that I can get the 511s. My buddy's getting ready to start making 511 slugs, and I can't wait. He ordered all the parts to do it with, so hopefully I'll be able to get my ammo from him, and hell, we'll probably wheel and deal back and forth. But I'm not going to use the bolt plug. I don't really need it. That's for irresponsible people. That's what that's for. That's for dumbasses that don't know what the hell they're doing. So I don't see this thing cocking itself. So the only thing that's going to stop is from, well, somebody from cocking it, but I guess it's got its point, or its good attributes to it. You know, if a kid grabbed a hold of it, I'm thinking more on the responsible person. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember that there's irresponsible people out there that don't listen to warnings, and they end up getting hurt by doing something they shouldn't have been doing. So it can work both ways. Oh, I gotta put my shade back on it. Where'd I put it? I done lost my shade. Oh, let me get my shade. So we'll keep that shade or that shroud in case I ever need it again. So now it almost looks like a Texan the way it has a shroud on it like that. I think Texan is a little bigger than that. But I can thread on a suppressor, which I'll probably never do. It'll get a thread protector on it, and that'll be the end of it. And I got to get another scope for it. I really don't want to take my Avenger scope off the Monstrum. I'd like to have another one of them Monstrums. It's an excellent scope. I've got some shaky going on here with this buttstock. I just noticed. What do they do? Just snap these guns together anymore? Yeah, I can see that squeaking being a problem. But in the woods, I won't have the bipod on it. The only thing I'll have will be that sling holder. So that's how I'm going to modify mine. And most likely I'm probably going to, push comes to shove, take this apart and use that for a thread protector. But I'm going to try 3D printing one first before I go destroying that. Because if I do one 3D printed, and if I do it right, I can make it so it will thread itself. They don't have a threading in Tinkercad. They used to. They stopped doing it, I reckon. But you can't do threads now. So, that buttstock, look at that, man. Is there a screw missing out of that thing? I wonder why that's like that. There's a hole in there. Probably shouldn't be bending it up, making it flex, and then it'll be that way all the time. Every time. That needs to be something taken care of there. We got a bug in here. But there's a corresponding hole going into this, so I'm wondering if that takes a screw. It's smaller than these two screw holes, and I can see the heads of those screws. There might be a screw that's supposed to be in that. So we'll have to take this off and look down in there and see if there's threads in there. If there is, then I need to get a screw for it. Because that's not supposed to be like that. See that? So there must be a screw right here that's supposed to be there to hold that in tight. And we'll figure out how we get this thing apart. Okay, we got one screw here, and them two screws. I don't know if that's a screw or not. I'm blind as a freaking bat anymore. No, that's just a part of the casting. You got one screw here and two screws in the buttstock, and that's pretty much it. There ain't no screws in this, I don't believe. Yeah, there is, right there. Anyway, that's how I modify mine to shorten the barrel so it would fit in my case. And it still looks okay. And the shroud is not changing a thing. This thing is not getting threaded on the barrel, twisting the barrel when you tighten it up, the shroud. And then as you shoot it, it loosens up a little bit more and more and more. And when it's loosening up, your barrel's changing its direction. So you have to understand all the concept, what's going on here when you thread that shroud on there with this thread. So this has nothing to do with, all it's doing is keeping the barrel in line. That's it. It's not holding anything. There's very, very little play in that. I machined that pretty good. And this shroud being in this hole and being in this hole and this being the same size as the barrel makes that pretty solid. And I trust that over that. Not to mention, this is old flimsy carbon fiber that can break really easy. Come on, you want to try it and see if I can break it pretty easy? Anyway, hope y'all got something out of this. There's probably going to be more to come on this gun. I'm going to do a shooting video, but I really love this freaking carbon fiber tank, man. That's the first gun I've ever had with a carbon fiber tank. I like to get one for my gauntlet, like that. And I wouldn't be so sure if that wouldn't fit my gauntlet. It's probably the same threads. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Later.